collapsed on the back nine a bit when I probably got a bit arrogant and switched off and everything. Straight into the water in front of me, and I was like,
that's a bit of me, that is, Ollie.
Well, I was holding my 3-wood for the whole time, and then as soon as it got to me, I was like, nah, I'm gonna take a 7-iron.
I've got that dialed in from like 110 yards down to about 70.
Road to the road hole here with George. I have given up very much on trying to recapture the youth of 12 months ago at St Andrews and trying to talk about all of the experiences. And I actually thought instead it's far better to plot out 2025 and what is attempting to take place in amateur golf in the tiny town of Leighton Buzzard, which is going to be taken a storm by George and myself, mainly George. It's been a big year already, 2025, in terms of there's been a goal ticked off.
Which one? Oh, yes, there has, yeah.
Breaking 80.
Breaking 80 at a par 69, yeah.
But let's first talk, George, about yourself very quickly.
Yeah.
Who you are, how you golf.
Yeah.
You know, what's how did you get into golfing?
It was COVID, so it was the first thing we could do, wasn't it, really, that you could sort of meet people. So me and a couple of mates thought that was a great excuse to go and catch up.
Feel free to talk into the microphone.
Sorry, mate. Can you hear me now? Is that all right?
Okay.
Yeah, so COVID, so it was our first sort of excuse to be able to get out and meet up. And then I didn't really play. I played a little bit when I was younger, as in like pitch and putt with a couple of mates, but nothing proper. And then got into it in COVID, and then it just swallows you up, doesn't it? Absolutely swallows you up.
Take some money.
In that way, and I love it, man.
So what are you playing off at the moment?
13 and a bit, 13.4, I think.
13.4.
Yeah.
You just left your golf club, Dunstable Downs.
I have, yeah.
For reasons that we can get into, I suppose. Just was a lovely course, but
I didn't really use it. I don't think I was taking advantage of the membership, and I wasn't really using the facilities. Wasn't really going there much. Didn't really join in with the. I suppose like the membership really. I didn't join in with comps. I don't know, Ollie.
Well, it's that bit further away, isn't it?
I think it's distance. I think it was. I didn't really get to join in with the club scene much at all, and I think it's probably because I brought guests every time I went, and I never really sort of. I suppose I didn't really put myself out there to do it, and I just thought it's a lot of money. And not much value out of it. Sounds
like online dating. I didn't really put myself out there enough. I was on the tee sheet swiping right. No, yes, no, I'll play with them. I won't.
Exactly, mate, exactly.
But it is one of those things of, it didn't really click with you, that club. There were things such as they don't have tee bookings, for instance. You just roll up, which makes it slightly more difficult to get to meet people.
Yeah, I think so. But to be honest, the way I used it, I just used to bring people, and then that was it really. And then I really enjoy playing other courses, and I think I found that quite a challenge, not having or feeling like I had to play that same course because of the money that you've invested in it. It's a beautiful course. It's lovely. I really enjoyed it, but I just felt, probably get more value out of not doing that. And then your golf club, called me up, and then they've offered me some cheap rate to get started, which is pretty great. So I can do that on a pending membership, and I'm looking forward to that, to be fair. And I know a few people there, don't I? Well, I know you mainly, but
but there's a group of people.
Good little, a group of kids, a group of
kids. I'm playing with the juniors, maybe.
But like similar people to us, and I can still bring some people along as well. So looking forward to it. I think it's a good win-win all round, I think.
And you're now booked in for the trip up to St Andrews coming up.
Big time,
which is basically what all of this is going to be focused around, along with fleeting chats about things like the Black Lion Championship that we do, is the ongoing. You can see we're actually sat in my kitchen doing this, and the trophy is now looking down over George. The glorious wooden silver lion that we compete for.
We're not quite sure what it's made of, are we?
I think it's wood. It's plastic base, and then it's a
maybe
it's a
high quality,
ridiculous carving if it is wood. I don't know how you do that. Like
I don't think it's wood, Ollie.
I mean, it was only 30
we'd
quid.
pay for a masterpiece, wouldn't we? I reckon it's probably plaster. Plaster of Paris.
Maybe.
It's nice, mate. It's a beautiful piece, and Ollie's won it 2 years in a row. But maybe you might want to talk about that a bit later. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more focused on kind of what at this point goals are for this coming year, because we both actually, after the first year of kind of playing consistent golf together, ended up with the exact same handicap at the end of that calendar year, which was pretty ridiculous. I think we were both like 17.6 or something in December 2023.
Yeah.
And then last year, we've both dropped down our handicaps quite a lot. We've worked on various aspects of our own individual games, but we've also, I think, stayed at a relatively similar pace of how we've played golf in terms of knocking shots off the handicap, but in different ways.
So. Well, I think I had a spell mid last year where it was going really well, and then that brought my handicap down, and then you feel like that's how you're going to play, don't you? Like going forward, and then anything other than that is disappointing. But actually, the reality is I've stayed pretty consistent in the teens, really, with what I'm scoring, maybe high teens more regularly. But at least that seems like an average standard, and then when it's good, that's what you know. The few that are good are the ones that affect your handicap, aren't they? But yeah, it was a really good year actually for golf. I think that probably was down to being a membership and down to getting used to a golf course, I suppose, and understanding where good misses were and stuff like that.
Yeah, the more you know a course, the better you're going to be able to pick your way around it, and that's the difference, I suppose, between being a hopper, going to loads of different places. I mean, it's great if you can go to a new course and put in a really good score that betters your handicap. That's almost way more impressive than doing it at a course that you play twice a week, even once a week, just that you get to know over 12 months, a year, 5 years of membership. I mean, I don't know, I've never been a member for a club that long, but you'd like to think that if you're on the same track all the time, it's going to keep coming down. If you bounce around a bit more, it's tougher to get that handicap going down just because you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so I think last year, I think my goals last year was generally to have a double free round and to break 80. And I didn't break 80 last year, I broke it this year, but I had a double free round, which was good, which was like a big achievement. What about you? What was yours?
Last year, I mean, I broke 80 last year for the first time.
You've done it a few times now,
in March, but I've not done it since on a card. So I did it last year in March, and then I haven't actually broken 80 again officially, but I've had two 79 and a 78 in match play. But you get gimmies, for instance, all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't really count, but it's also really annoying to have that. It's there, but then actually when the card's in hand, it doesn't seem to be there.
Yeah, your golf is definitely there though, isn't it? At the moment, it does feel like it's pretty solid at the moment. You're regularly over 9. You're regularly shooting low numbers, and then it's just maintaining it, isn't it? Like we had that the other day, didn't we?
That's even like today. I had 18 points. Course I never played before. 18 points on the front 9.
Did you?
With a blob, like was really good overall kind of golf. Then the back 9, I had 15 points. There was a blob in there again, but nothing felt quite as consistent.
Yeah.
The only thing that was consistent was off the tee, which is something that's been a bit of a rarity.
Were you playing off the whites or the yellows?
Played off the yellows.
So that was. Have you said where you played?
No. This was a. I got a last minute call up to play Woburn last night. I'm sat there with. I was going to play today anyway, and I just had a round booked in after the ladies at LB, who they have the morning priority. So I had like 12:30 booked in. And then a chap who's doing some work on our house just gives me a message, 9 o'clock at night. Do you want to come and play Woburn tomorrow? We're playing the Marcus. Like, it's going to be 60 quid.
Is he a member there? Or is he
He's in a group where there are some members at Woburn. Right. So I got to play with a couple of members today. But yeah, it was like, do you fancy it tomorrow? It's like, well, I'm playing golf anyway. Sod it, I'll cancel that tee time. Let's go, run up, do that. So I've been so excited all day for it, and it is
Yeah, go on.
It's a lovely course. I mean, it's the best. Apparently the Dukes is meant to be the best course up there. That's the most aesthetically pleasing and most fun to play. But the Dukes and the Duchess are both really tight, whereas the Marquise is the one where that's where like the Women's Open's held on, where the amateur champs are held on, that they have up there, like the big competition events.
So what's their main championship course?
That's the one I played today, the Marquise. Yeah.
Oh, that is?
Yeah. But they say that the Dukes is a nicer course.
Oh, right, okay.
But they're both, as I say, the Dukes and the Duchess have tighter fairways, kind of 75% of the fairway of the one I played today, which is terrifying because it's not that wide and free. They were saying like, oh, you can spray it about a bit more. I didn't pull out a driver once today. I hit the 3-wood, which I managed to get hitting again okay. But there wasn't much room for error out there. I was like, God, we're going to go and play the other ones at some point. But yeah, lovely course. Bit damp, but that's also the wetter of the 3 courses, apparently.
Okay. Is it like soft underfoot?
There were some boggy bits. There were some actual boggy bits.
Were there?
But the difference is that they don't have... Yeah, I know, outrageous. I was seething that I paid 60 quid for this. Ridiculous. Unreal. But it's like... Somebody I was playing with today, actually, Neil, put it very sensibly of... The difference is you have a boggy course on this course. You've got 2 other courses, and you don't have every single member playing one course all day. Yeah. So actually, it doesn't get dug up as much. It doesn't get trodden on half as much. It's just going to hold up that bit better, which was, I mean, it makes sense. They've got 3 courses up there, and they rotate them around. They have one closed every so often, have 2 open, all that kind of thing. So
give me highlights, lowlights. What would you say? What were the, I suppose, about the course, what were the standout things, and then your game?
So there's a couple of lovely downhill par 3s, which are really inviting, but quite long, and they tended to be into wind today as well. So it was really fun stepping up with like 185 to the middle and having to hit a 4-iron to make sure it went, but hitting it well. Like the par 3s, I actually made most of them except for the last one. I hit the green, but my putting was terrible today.
Is it fast?
Not really. No. And I think that was the trouble, is because I was expecting it to be fast and it wasn't. And so then I was either undercooking it or overcooking it quite dramatically. So it just wasn't, nothing was working with the flat stick. And I did have one lost ball because there's a great hole. The 11th is a reasonably short par 4.
Yeah.
Where we actually were playing it off. They'd put the yellow tees on the very back tee box, and so we were playing it basically off the blues, off their championship tees. But we had wind behind us, so if I could carry 220, I'd clear the water onto this island section, and then you play over the second bit of water onto the green, or pull out, say, a 180-yard shot to then lay it up in front of the first bit of water and then another 170 yards into the green.
So what'd you do?
Well, I was holding my 3-wood for the whole time. And then as soon as it got to me, I was like, I'm going to take a 7-iron. And you know what? I hit a really good layup 7-iron right towards, just in front of the water, but on the fairway. And then the second shot, I just tensed up. I was like, I've got to get over 2 bits of water. I've got to get onto the green. And I just got really stiff and duffed it straight into the water in front of me. And I was like,
that's a bit of me, that is, Ollie. That's a bit of me.
It was just in the head. But what I will say with Woburn, with that, was particularly the course we played today, it's beautiful. But I've played courses like where maybe 4 or 5 of the best holes on that course is what you get for 18 holes at Woburn. So you can experience a Woburn-esque type course. You just might not get the same quality for all 18 holes.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to pay a Woburn type price for it. But you are paying for that level of quality.
It's similar sort of like woodland to near us, isn't it? Like it's all like pine and...
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the Duchess and the Dukes are very much more piney.
Okay.
This one's actually more oak trees.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I was reading about how there's a change in scenery when you play the one we played today as opposed to the other 2. Which, again, I don't know if that is a positive or a negative. I love the piney feel at like Leighton Buzzard, for instance, and the ferns and stuff. And I think what it is like the Duchess and the Dukes. You know, the 17th at Leighton Buzzard, really thin.
Yep.
I think the Duchess and the Dukes are like that, but all the way around.
Yeah.
Whereas
Treacherous. Scary.
Whereas the Marquise today is the one where, again, it's oak trees, so the ball can go through them, particularly when there's no leaves on them, stuff like that, as opposed to the pine trees that are evergreen and obviously will grab your ball and just drop down dead type thing.
How did you score?
33 points.
What was that? What does that equate to? Numbers?
89.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was
really
good.
good.
It was a good start. Yeah, I get 14 shots on that off the yellows, and I'll take that. But it's definitely something.
I'd be very happy with that on a new course, on a big course like that. That's great, mate. Yeah,
it was cool. I think I'm going to be lucky enough maybe to get to do some more of them at some point.
Unbelievable.
We'll get you involved, man.
Yes, please.
Yep. Straight away. However it needs to be done, we'll do it. But this,
great, mate. Well done.
What's the best course that you've played? What's the course that you go, that's not for good golf, but for the overall experience of it?
The two courses that I'm most fond of, one was in Wales, which is called Pyle and Kenfig, and that was really beautiful. That was the front nine is I think the older bit of the course, and that's quite plain inlandy sort of feel. But then you go on the back nine, you go onto these incredible dune-like links, and it's gorgeous. It's an amazing course. So I went there a couple of summers ago, and then other than that, one called Thurleston, which is on the south coast, I think, and that was beautiful. That was gorgeous. That was cliff based, but yet never played any big names really, apart from hopefully what we're going to do this year.
Do you have a bucket list of them or anything? Ones that, everyone's going to say things like, oh, I really want to do Pebble Beach, or I want to do Augusta. Augusta's impossible. Pebble Beach is crazy, obviously.
There's lots in the UK that I'd like to do. So obviously in Scotland, we've got, I'd love to obviously play the old course. Mm-hmm. And then the courses around there would be amazing. And I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. There's a few in Scotland. Where would I like to go in Scotland? I've thought of, what's the one called? Brora. I've seen some really lovely
up north,
imagery of, and I had a friend who played there, and it's quite understated but Highlands. Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What's the newer one that is quite near St Andrews? The new King's Barnes.
Oh, King's Barnes. Yeah.
That it just looks incredible, doesn't it? It just looks like an amazing.
450 though for a round.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Modern links, isn't it? It's beautiful though. It looks amazing. And then I think there's a load of little gems, isn't there? There's a load of little gems peppered around just in England, isn't there? Lots on and in the north of England as well. I'd love to go. Yeah, explore a bit of that. But yeah, I haven't really invested on going on any big trips, and I think that's something I need to do.
I don't know. Not necessarily even big trips. I mean, I've been chatting with some people in the last few days, and we've booked for next Wednesday, and obviously I'm quite lucky. You with your job can't take time off just at the drop of a hat or anything like that. But we've booked the 2010 course down at Celtic Manor because it's £60.
When are you going there? Is that
Wednesday?
Soon, isn't it?
Yeah, next week. And
ridiculous.
It's there are loads of these courses that are around at the moment. I was looking at one today that's a former open venue, which if I can remember off the top of my head, which I can't, but it is which one? Not Moortown.
I mean
Musselburgh.
The fat mate that you can book.
Musselburgh up near Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So that's
great.
£150 normally in the height of the season. Yeah, these are all the. So what I've got every Open and Ryder Cup venue that's in the UK with estimated and actual green fees on it. But Musselburgh is £170 in May,
some of those
but
figures.
It's £30 in March.
Great. Yeah, that's an absolute no-brainer.
I would happily nip up on a flight.
Yeah.
Do a £30 round and come back that evening kind of thing.
Yeah, very cool. So on your list there, it's an absolute who's who, isn't it, of golf courses. I'd love to play Glen Eagles. That's a braid course, isn't it? That's going to be really nice. Royal St George's and St George's Hill, which is Surrey. That's meant to be incredible. That's not on there, is it?
No.
But I think that's like another £400.
I like you've picked Glen Eagles, one of the most expensive on there at $450. Royal St George's, probably the third or fourth most expensive on there.
I just yeah.
I mean, you just pay through the nose for
these
now.
It's nonsense, isn't it? Like, I mean, the reality is, I would just be happy with anything a bit coastal and a bit rugged, actually, to be honest. But Royal Portrush, that's meant to be incredible. Loads over that way. I've had friends that went over and just said how amazing it was. But it's big money, and then your last one's a joke, mate.
Turnberry, it's just ridiculous. £1,000, or it's £600 with a £400 night at the hotel, so it's £1,000 anyway. The total cost of it all is £6,865 to do every single Open and Ryder Cup venue.
What's this colouring for?
Have hosted both.
Oh, right, okay.
Kind of thing.
So off that list, you played Prince's, didn't you, the other day? Have you played any others?
So yeah,
St
Andrews is done. That's why that's got a black check.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay.
Carnoustie will be done in April, so that's got a black check. I now need to add Prince's to that as well.
And Celtic Manor? Or have you not played Celtic
Manor? Not yet. That's next week. We'll do.
Have you not played it before?
I've played the other two. So I've played the Roman Road and the Montgomery. But I've never played the 2010.
And you've not played the Belfry?
Not played the Belfry yet, which I'd really like to do.
Brabazon, is that what it's called?
Yeah, but it's actually tough. Their tee times get booked out very quickly on the Brabazon, which is a shame. But also understandable, because it's apparently, without a doubt, the best one there by a long way.
Yeah. I think there's some.
And Royal St George's will get
places,
done in about 2 weeks' time as well.
Crikey.
Yeah, actually 2 weeks today, Royal St George's, which will be fun.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Oh, very good. Yeah.
But
I should do something like this. My friend sent me a list of like sort of courses that he was looking at, and I'm always thinking, oh yeah, I'll do that, and I never do it, and then I suppose I just go with the flow, go like, just see what opportunities come my way. But really, I should target something and
it's not even about again though targeting it. It's like, you have half terms when you kind of looking after the kids and stuff like that, but where you get a bit more time off and stuff. So, but there's always that opportunity of like all right, sod it, let's spend a day, bop down somewhere. Even if you do like a trip with the girl. I'm not saying base your family holidays around golf, because that's pushing it a bit too far. But there is the idea of like, say like, right, let's go here for a couple of days by the coast, and if we can throw in me having an afternoon to play this place, that'd be great. Particularly if you do it around about March or October time, when the golf season comes to an end and all those prices just drop by about 50%.
I think. Yeah, I should do that. To be fair though, whenever we go away, I do always check out what's around. What we can.
So you are basing your holidays around?
No. Like genuinely the opposite. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I'm desperate to play some nicer courses, I think, and yeah, maybe this is the year that. Well, it's definitely the year we'll do it a bit, and then maybe that'll inspire some more big trips.
What's the best club in your bag at the moment?
Trying
to give people a feel of George Walker the golfer here. We've learned that you want to play some nicer courses. Yeah.
I don't know, mate. I think I normally like the hybrid, don't I? I like the 3 hybrid. Is generally it's like my consistent club off the tee, less wild. Wow, yeah, I can't hit any woods at the moment, and then just safe. I like an 8 iron. I like an iron. I like a I suppose a mid to high iron, I suppose.
See, I'd just say your putter's the best.
Oh, well, sometimes it's good. Sometimes my wedges are good. I think I'm a bit inconsistent, though. Putting can be hot, and then it's generally not a disaster, I suppose, the putting.
I'd say you 2-putt and 1-putt more than anything else by a long way. I don't think...
I hope so.
It's very rare that you 3-putt around a golf course.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Well, it happens.
I always think that's like a perspective thing, isn't it? It's like when I play with you, if you've got like a 6-footer in a match play, I'll always imagine you're going to putt it, whereas you probably don't feel like you're going to.
Shaking over
But it's so funny, isn't it? Your perspective of someone else and what you think of them is very different from their perspective of what they think. What about you? What do you think? What's your best club?
My 3-wood. My 3-wood and my 5-wood, I think, and definitely at the moment, my 3-wood is the best.
A lovely little baby fade. It's nice, man. And yeah, hitting them as far as, a drive at times, aren't you?
Getting 250 out of a 3-wood for me is a big use because it means I don't have to pull a driver out at all. All my 54, but I use that for so many shots, like chipping, 100 yards or in will be a 54. I can also hit it if I need to, like 110 or something. Yeah. It's just a nice, versatile club for me.
I've got the same. My 52, I do like that. I like that for generally all my chipping and all my pitching, and I think I've got that dialed in from like 110 yards down to about 70. I feel I've got those 10-yard increments well and dialed, and that gives me a bit of confidence if I'm in that sort of range. But yeah, I don't know, mate. I think I'm a bit all over the place. I certainly least favourite club is driver, and it's been that way for I just don't know how to hit it, mate. Like, honestly, on the range, sometimes it's fine. I'm smoking it, and then I don't think I've had a round where I felt confident with it for about a year.
It goes left, doesn't it?
It can do both, mate. It can generally at the moment though, because I've done quite a bit of change with my swing for the better for my like iron swing and everything. I think that's been pretty catastrophic for my driver, and I'm reluctant to get a lesson for no logical reason other than the stubbornness.
This I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. But I think it's just because if I invested the time in a lesson, I'd much rather just be going and playing a round of golf, like because like just my time frames for that, or going to the range and just whacking those balls. But that's
the thing is that you'll happily do the grind thing. Like we've spoken about how it's nice to go to a range and grind it out. But then
a contradiction.
Yeah, it's like if I'm gonna have a lesson, I might as well have a round. Mm-hmm. But I'll happily also go and do the post lesson work that I need to do, but not have somebody go for just like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, maybe this is the year that I crack it and I work out what's going wrong with my driver.
You get a free swing analysis when you join the club at LB.
Do I?
You get half an hour swing analysis with the pro Kev.
That must be on full membership though, not...
No, that's with pending. I had that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay.
Because when I finally got around to taking...
What does that mean? What does the swing analysis mean? Just,
He watches you swing and he says, right...
He does give you tips?
Yeah. And he says, your swing's doing this, you need to do this and this. So he was the one that, when I went to him, I had my wrist basically locked in and straight, really tight, which is why I get to the top of my swing on the follow through and I wouldn't bring the club back round behind my head. I'd get here to like the top of my shoulder and then it would recoil back down and it would cause a lot of strain from swinging because it would go up and then there's no kind of easy release. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, you need to hinge your wrists. Just hinge your wrists and your swing will be a lot easier and be more consistent and it won't be as tight and you won't have as much of a chance of pulling it off to the left like you were doing. And I did the swing analysis with him and then went straight to the first tee and played a round with the members sec and I went 3 over par on the front 9. It was the best, at that point it was the best round, like 9 holes I'd ever had.
Yeah, great.
It collapsed on the back 9 a bit when I probably got a bit arrogant and switched off and everything. But it was one of those things where I was like, talking to a pro actually really really opens your eyes to just like minor tweaks.
Maybe that'll get me on there.
It was the same when I had the Shanks last year in the summer. I was stood there on the course with like other people I played with and they were like, oh, maybe you're too close to the ball, or maybe you're too far away from the ball, maybe doing this. Had a half-hour lesson with the pro and he was like, yeah, you're not rotating your wrist around and you're leading with the club shaft. And you're like,
we always try and like DIY fix all our mates, don't we, and bits like that. And the reality is we don't know what we're on about.
Not a clue.
Not a clue. And I think I realise that more and more whenever I'm trying to give people tips that I have no clue. But I do feel like I had 2 lessons early on with my like really we're just focusing on irons, and that was really good. One lesson didn't stick with me, didn't work, but then the other lesson, there was something to take away, and that was all about like getting better contact with the ball, and that's been something that stuck with me, that sort of weight shift. But then after that, I haven't done it. Don't know, mate. But maybe this is the year. So go and bite the bullet and maybe put a couple in.
Well, all I'm saying is, if we do this once a month, maybe do this down at the range after hitting some range balls.
Yeah.
And you have like 1 or 2 lessons over the first couple of months of like the golf season. It would be interesting to see what you get told and what happens to your scores, because I still maintain that you're a better golfer than me and that you have a very easy on the eye swing. You hit a really consistent iron and your short game is great. And if your long game could just match up, I think you'd be in a 7-8 handicapper.
Well,
Not comfortably, but I think it could be there.
I agree, but that's
Let's
see
nicely at
but
everybody else.
But to be fair, let's all right, we'll whatever path that takes, I'll update you. I'll let you know.
All
right. Should we talk about the BLC or not?
Let's talk about the BLC.
So, how do we describe the BLC?
Well, the Black Line Championship is what BLC is, and I don't even remember how we started up the competition. I think we kind of said that we named it the BLC because it came up in the Black Lion as like an idea. I don't necessarily remember that, but there's also been a couple of, not many evenings.
There's certainly folklore that would say that that's what happened. I don't know.
Scholars
I don't know if we've actually ever been to the Black Lion together. No, we have.
We had the martini night.
But it was. I think it was our way of making sure that we played once a month, wasn't it? Because we like playing together, and then just different jobs and different free time. It sort of meant that we at least force ourselves to make sure we arranged at least one match, because it's always nice when we get to.
Yeah, and it's a best of 12 match play, 1 a month. Obviously, if we miss the month, we just have to try and carry it over. I think at one point we ended up, because I was away for a long period of time with some work in South America and stuff, we ended up doing like 4 in quick succession to try and do catch up, especially last year.
So quick summary: 2023, I was up. Was it
6-1?
6-1. So I needed one more.
I hammered you at 3 locks in the first one.
Yeah.
And then you won
6 on the
in a
trot.
row. Yeah.
And then I lost every single one after that, and it went to 12. 6s, 6 and 6, and then
we had the tiebreaker,
which was a nonsense.
Yeah.
From my perspective, from Ollie's, he sees differently, but.
Well, I don't take much joy in that.
He beat me on a simulator round,
but like it was a simulator round that we never actually got to finish the full 18. But I did win enough holes that it wouldn't have been attainable by that point.
No, it was good, man.
It was just
we had to find a winner in the first year, didn't we? And then the next year, it was an absolute.
It was like 6-2, I think, something like that.
Yeah, it was over too quickly, and because we'd made a rule that if you draw that year, you retain. It got to 6-2.
Yeah.
Ollie retained. I was in a strop, and then
we called it a day. And we were meant to have then the Mevin medal, which never really kicked off in winter.
That never kicked off. Mevin is a lovely Turkish
sponsorship money never really came in though. That was the trouble. Like the Black Lion Championship, they have provided the seating for drinking, which is a big thing. Yeah. Mevin have never really brought anything to the table, unfortunately. Even though it's a great restaurant in the town.
It's great. I'm sure if we approached them, they probably would, but they'd be probably too scared to tell them.
Champing at the bit now, I think. Now. But yeah, so we have the 2 years in a row I've been able to pull out the victories. And then this year we said, because last year you were at Dunstable, and so we were going to do half and half, 6 at one course, 6 at another at my course, and do it that. The first year we did a different course every single round. And then this year, we were talking about doing different courses a lot. But then with you getting the pending membership as well, there's also a kind of, we could just leave it all on Leighton Buzzard type thing. We've had 2 rounds at, we've had one round.
We did one at, what's that course called?
Chartridge, was it?
Never played it before, had we? And we played it in ice.
Played it in snow and ice, yeah.
I think thoroughly fun.
I think it was
fine. It was fun, and it's good for match play. When you're playing in dicey, weird conditions, at least if it's match play, it's completely level between you, isn't it? And
it's a fine course. It just annoyed me that we paid 38 quid for a snowed out course that had rock solid greens and mats
like on marble on concrete, wasn't it, when the ball was hitting it?
Yeah, we were hitting 5 woods 230 yards because of 35 yards of icy bouncing kind of thing.
But it's fun. But it's fun, and then like chipping onto the green, that was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But so that one I was up, and then we drew it on the last hole, didn't we?
Drew
So
on
that
the
was a draw.
18th, yeah. And then we've just had the second round, the February round at Leighton Buzzard, where I'm not gonna lie, after 9 holes, I thought I was just gonna walk it because I think I was 4 over on the front 9 and 4 up through like 7.
I was playing bogey golf.
Yeah, and then I don't know what happened. I just lost all consistency on that back 9, which I'd had for the front 9 completely, and I just went from like, I mean, that's my golf at the moment. I'm feast and famine. Like today, it was either double bogey or par. Like just kind of that's what it has been.
It was a bit of a shame, man, because you were on for a real good round. But I think what happened was I maintained bogey golf the whole time. Nothing special at all. Like average to not great. Whereas you just had a melt, didn't you, on the back?
Yeah.
Whereas the front was brilliant. But
yeah.
So then we drew, didn't we?
So we're at 50-50.
Yeah.
1 point each.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do about round 3 for March? Do we do Leighton Buzzard?
I think so. 'Cause that'll be my first month there, won't it?
Is that when the pending membership
it
starts?
starts in March.
Okay.
So maybe we do, mate.
I think there's good weather coming up as well at the moment. Like next week looks reasonably dry.
If it's not LB, where else?
Well,
you know what? I'm 50, aren't I? I'm going to just.
We can get on
stay
Sandy
there all the
Lodge
time.
for quite cheap, which is down near Rickmansworth. We could get onto Richmond for.
Why do we get Sandy Lodge? Is that a reciprocal?
That's part of my
Richmond one.
Yeah, Richmond one.
Okay.
Because obviously I've got.
Do we get any with
3
LB?
memberships. Yeah, we get Chiltern Forest.
Oh, I've played that.
It's an interesting track. We
It's
we
fun,
played that. We actually did a Black Lion.
That would be good for match play. It's a weird one to score on, but it's a good one for. It's an unusual course.
I mean, that was the home of. That was the turning point of the Black Lion Championship in the first year, Chiltern Forest.
Was it?
Because that was the 18th, where you went left a little bit and you ended up in the really thick rough on that
horrid.
bank.
Yeah, that was.
Because we were tied going down the last.
That was horrible.
And your hybrid just went that little bit left, and mine clung on to that left edge.
And I was just in that.
And you were hacking a ball
I should have
out.
took an unplayable. But I don't know if I could have really. I don't think you can you? If you can.
I think you can. Wherever the ball is, you can take it in the unplayable.
Can you?
And then drop it backwards.
But I suppose you don't. You think you're going to be able to get it out, but I was just hacking at weeds, and it was awful.
Yeah,
it was dire, wasn't it? It was so bad.
It was such a horrible way to win a golf match.
It was so depressing.
Because it was just you hit it, and it's like it's not coming out, and then you're at the exact same angle, just a bit lower, and that ball's still in it. And it was, I think you had 3 or 4 swings, and you were like, forget this. And I was just like, it was annoying because I played a nice shot and then had a nice shot onto the green, and it was like, oh, this would be fun to go like toe to toe. We could do like a playoff hole or something, because we hadn't even thought about tiebreakers at that point, because we were just like, oh, we just keep playing until somebody wins, regardless of the green fee or whatever. And then that was the defining point. So going back to Chiltern would be quite a fun one.
That would be good.
Even though I don't like the last 4 of the last 6 holes, I think it is.
Yeah.
They're just up and down in very narrow tree lines.
Yeah, there's like that little midsection on the back 9 that's a bit strange.
Yeah.
But it's a fun little course, isn't it? And there's some quite dynamic holes.
We get Market Harborough as well as a reciprocal.
Do we?
Yeah,
I've got a good friend who lives there.
I've been told that it's not in
Market
great
Harbs.
nick in the winter for sure. The guys, some friends went there and they said like tee boxes were a disgrace.
Well,
and stuff like that.
Dunstable, I got Northampton County, so that's a shame. It's a shame
Didn't you
that I
get
didn't do that.
Ellsborough reduced at Dunstable as well?
Yeah, didn't play that. Should have. That's apparently great.
That was one that I've seen it from above on the top of the hills around there, and I've looked down and been doing a dog walk and been like, I really want to play that. And I think I'd probably pay the county card rate. The county card rate's like 50 quid, I think, which is like, I could probably do that. But that's the other thing of like bouncing around all these golf clubs. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to have variety, and I do enjoy playing other courses, but it costs so much, particularly if you play on a weekend, to play any of these courses. You can't get on a lot of them on a Saturday morning because that's the members' time. Completely understand that. You want to let your members have enough time to be able to play their own course. But it does cost a lot of money when you want to go from, like, no massive knock to it, but like a Tillsworth to even a Leighton Buzzard or a Dunstable, which isn't a dramatic step up. It's a clear step up in terms of quality.
You're
of golf
paying for
course,
conditioning, aren't you, as well?
Yeah.
Conditioning and they are, they're established, aren't they?
Yeah. Keep walking for a second. Do you want another bit?
Yes, please, mate. Are you having another one?
Yeah.
Is that what you're up for?
Yeah.
And what else do we want to talk about? Thanks, mate.
Whatever you want, man. In terms of golf, I mean,
well, we've got there's St Andrews coming, isn't there? I'm very excited about that.
so that'll be the first big course.
That'll be my first big course, big blowout.
It's
I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's just because we know so many of the holes and like just the history, and it's just special, isn't it? It's like special just in a.
Well, you're into your golf history, aren't you? Like you like getting into the designers and stuff.
I love all of that. I think the old course is just a bit of a special one, isn't it? Just because literally what it is, and I think be great to play it. I'm a little bit worried that we'll go and I won't be able to get on, which is a little bit of a concern. However, the other courses around there look pretty incredible. So whatever happens, it'll be great. I kind of feel like if we know we're not going to go on, then we go and play a massive blowout one. But then you'd have to book onto that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but what you could... no, you can't, because most of them take money up front and stuff as well. I think the thing is when we're going, late May...
We've got a good chance.
And midweek.
Yeah.
You would hope that we're out of US main travelling season, and we're also out of
Peak.
school kind of times
Yeah.
and stuff like that as well. So there's not a lot of like families going up
out
there.
of that and out of peak weather, aren't we? Like it's not going to be the perfect moment to go, and we'll have to embrace some balmy conditions.
Well, that's the interesting one about that period of time is May could be gorgeous or terrible
Or awful, yeah.
Yeah,
but I'm up for that. I don't mind that. I like it's like all any courses I've played that are a bit more links like. Playing against the weather is great. That's what makes it, isn't it? And that's what makes it interesting. And I always like that. But so that doesn't worry me. But yeah, just genuinely, I just really love to play it, obviously, and hope we can. But whatever happens, mate, we'll have an absolute blast.
So you like it was interesting again. Last year, two of the people I went with up to St Andrews didn't even try to play the old course.
No.
Like didn't put their
Because they
names.
liked everything else.
We put a ballot in for the three of us.
Yeah.
When you can 2 days in advance. We did a couple of ballot attempts, but they never put their individual names into the singles ballot, which is a higher probability of getting than the main ballot. And I didn't understand why. Obviously, money is a factor because it's 300 odd quid plus paying for a caddy. I kind of think you should pay for a caddy. You do need it, I think, on the old course as well, just because there's a lot of blind shots.
You're right, yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. So they do guide you quite a lot around the course, and particularly if you lose a ball, they have a really good idea of exactly where you'll find it and know how to find it, which is very useful. But I didn't get going up and not trying. And it's interesting that they've come back, and one of them, John, was saying the other day, he was like, the one thing about going to St Andrews is everybody asks you when you come back, did you play the old course? And he has to tell every single one of them, no, I didn't even try. And they all go, why not? And it is that thing. But would you say we put a 4-ball ballot in, we don't get it?
Mm-hmm.
Will you put your name in the singles ballot?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely. That doesn't... it would be well nice, wouldn't it, to play it together as a group? But I think you just any chance to go and play it, it doesn't really matter. And actually, it'd be quite fun to play it with anyone, wouldn't it? And just embrace that, and you'll meet some weird people, like some different people, won't you?
And you get like the brotherhood almost of everyone doesn't know anybody else.
Yeah.
But we're all playing this great course.
Yeah,
we all
exactly.
like golf type thing. Okay.
Yeah, no. So I'll definitely go for the single one. That doesn't bother me.
Have you got any expectations of
What,
that trip? Of the whole, of the courses, of the experience, of... Because I've tried not to talk too much about it because I don't want to But I'd love to know what you expect.
I think I don't. I think I've played a couple of courses that would be considered links courses, but I don't think I've played really good links courses. And I think all of the St Andrews little bubble of courses, like they're 4 or 5, isn't it? They all look like classic, established, beautiful rolling courses, which I think will be really nice. So I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to playing. I imagine they're all probably a little bit in a similar vein. I imagine they're probably quite. So like what we got, the new course, and what's another one?
The Jubilee, the Eden.
So I can imagine they're similar, and I know there's the new one. What's that? Castle course, which is meant to be completely different.
Yeah,
but that one's.
Well away from the rest of it.
Is it?
Yeah.
And I think I've heard real mixed reviews of that. Some people absolutely rave about it, and some people think it's a bit mad and like a bit outplaced. But I think I'm all for that, and I think it'll be fun to have a bit of contrast, won't it, around there? But yeah, mate, I'm just dead excited. I'm dead excited to play something with a bit of history and they've all got their own. They're all in their own right. I've got something really interesting about them, haven't they? And hear some really good stories, and I've heard particularly the new course is great, and I don't know if that was your perception of it, but I know you don't really want to say too much, and just let me see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's definitely.
And then we're gonna go to Fairmont as well.
The idea is to do Fairmont. Yeah, I've kind of pushed an idea of maybe we do 5 rounds of golf at the St Andrews courses that we'll have paid for, and then try and get a late tee time at Fairmont, or the day we drive up, get a evening tea time at Fairmont, and then have dinner at the clubhouse as well that evening before we then go down to the Airbnb we've got.
Fairmont looks great. That would be really good. Are we not thinking about playing one on the route?
Well, that's the idea.
Or is it instead?
We drive up and play go up, get up there, play Fairmont, do dinner, go back, or we break up the journey with drive up, play a round of golf somewhere, and then do that. Which I mean, I'm either or with. Again, around Edinburgh, Musselburgh would be a cool one to do. It's like 130 quid. It's an open venue, so that'd be a nice one to tick off. It would get us up to Scotland and break it off. It's on the list.
Oh, there we go.
I'd feel a bit robbed considering it's 30 quid right now, and I'd be like, I'd have played it in March. I'd definitely played it in March for 30 quid. Or
mate, honestly, I'm up for any of them. They all look brilliant, and the condition of the courses look great, and just looking forward to whatever comes our way. So I'm very much in your hands, mate, with whatever way you want to take it. But I think certainly looking forward to playing all the St Andrews courses that are on that ticket. I would have liked to. What's it called? Dunstanburgh. Dunstanburgh.
Yeah.
I would like to have played that.
We still can. I'd really like to.
I do just hear brilliant things. And what was the other one that's near there? Gossick is meant to be really nice. So and also not madly priced, like 60, 70 quid or something. So I'd love to play either of those two. Just a little bonus one on the way. But I think
Depends
also,
how
mate,
early
I'm
you
going to be
wanna leave.
sponging a ride, aren't I? And then I've still not worked out I'm going back, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, well, that's something we worked on over the next. We got a couple of months to sort that one out.
Yeah, great. Yeah, you're just leaving me up in Scotland.
Yeah, basically. Well, if we end up doing like 4 Black Lion Championship rounds up at St Andrews, and then you beat me, like hell, I want to be giving you a 7-hour drive home after that with you chirping in the car or anything. And I don't think you'd want to be in a 7-hour car journey with me if I'd won.
I don't think I can handle it. No,
exactly.
absolutely.
So, no, I mean, what could happen is you drive up super early. Mm-hmm. You end up getting to like Dunstanburgh at 11.
Who, me? Drive myself?
No, both of us drive up super early. Get to Dunstanburgh for like 10 in the morning. 10, 11 in the morning. Play that round. Finish by 3. Then it's another 3 hours, I think, to St Andrews from there. And then get 9 holes in somewhere. I mean, it gets dark at 10 o'clock, 10:30 up there. That's the great thing about it being so north. I mean, we were there a bit later in the year last year, but you could see blue sky at 10 to 11.
Yeah.
And you could have probably played until 10 o'clock, 10:30. So there are options for getting on, but I don't. Yeah.
I think a super early ride, play a morning round at Dunstanburgh. Like we could get there for 10. We'd get there for 9.
How long does it take? Let's have a look at this, because it's going to be.
If we could get there for 9 o'clock, play, have some lunch, en route up.
So it's.
And we'd be there by 4, 5.
It's 5 hours to Dunstanburgh.
Absolutely, mate.
So you want to leave at 4 in the morning?
Go stay at my dad's. Wow,
the night
that's
before.
only an hour. That's only an hour north. That's not much.
Yeah. We'll drive up to what, Rugby, is it?
Yeah, Rugby.
Yeah, we'll drive up to Rugby the night before. That's an hour off the journey. Then if we leave at 5, we can be there for 9 to get around it. In fairness, there's some.
I genuinely
some
would be
traffic
fine
and a
with
crash,
that.
so that's not a clean run.
Just like a kid going on holiday. You get giddy, don't you? About the it doesn't matter. You get early starts. Doesn't matter, mate.
So I would do a 6 a.m. I mean, when we did Prince's the other week, I got up at 5 and was on the road at 5:30, and then up. So
mate, I'll absolutely do that.
Could do a 5:30.
I think I've been up at similar time to play Little Hay.
Come on. That said, Little Hay Golf Course is somewhere that George has tried to keep taking me back to.
Dear to my heart. Dear to our hearts, but Ollie's ditched it now.
I'm happy to have it as a great memory of early golf and not tarnish it by playing it as it is now, which is a very unkept course.
Oh, no, I disagree. I think it's nice.
The greens are terrible.
Yeah, but I don't mind that. I actually... obviously, I like playing a nice course, but to be fair, just any sort of golf I still enjoy.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. I just love it all. But yeah, it's obviously nice to play consistent, well-kept places, but...
The thing with me with Little Hay is that I can
fun.
pay less money to play a better course. Like, 3 Locks is a better course.
Yeah,
it doesn't cost as much and all that. But yeah, I would... And it'd be interesting. I know, like, the guys were going up with Ryland and John. John's not driving, so he'll happily sit in a van with Ryland from like 5:30 in the morning. And Ryland is a bit just like so eager beaver to do it. I mean, he's the one that's ensured that next week we are on. I was like, do you want to get like a nice 11, 12 o'clock tee time at Celtic Manor? He was like 10:30. Let's get there for 10:30 to tee off. I was like, bloody hell. You know, it's like 3 hours to get there, but all right, okay, I guess we're leaving at 6:30 to make sure that we've got enough time to get there with a bit of leeway in case there's traffic. Right, let's do that.
Very good.
So yeah, I reckon a 5:30 leave, go and play possibly Dunstanburgh or somewhere like that, and then from Dunstanburgh up to St Andrews.
I think that's the way, mate, isn't it? Like you've got to have a break before you get there. We can't drive the whole way and then play Fairmont or whatever. I think we've just got to do a halfway house.
Dunstanburgh to St Andrews is another 3 hours. Yeah. So if we got 11, say it takes 4 hours around Dunstanburgh, so then you'd be there done by 3. You'd be up at St Andrews for probably 5:30. Which I'm okay with. Like, I'm okay with getting there.
Just go and do that. What's the putting one? Himalayas. Just go and have a little...
I think they shut that, though. Oh. And you're not allowed to putt on it if it's not open and officiated. And
well,
all
they shut that.
Yeah, because it's like a kiosk with like a...
Oh, is it? Oh, man, that would have been fun.
Yeah, you can't just rock up with your own putter. You have to use their putters and stuff as well.
Fun little par 3s.
Well, like I said, I think...
Coastal par 3s. There must be something.
I think you could go and like negotiate almost like a 9-hole round with like Fairmont or something. Just say like, look, we've just got up here. We'd love to like swing a club for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's going to be dark at 10 o'clock. We're here at 6:30. Can we go do 9 holes of the Fairmont or something and see what they say? And then if you're fast, I mean, I wouldn't want to run around it, but you can do a round of golf in 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I like that.
Then go and get food and then like die. And then you have to be up early the next day as well because we have to book our tee times. So that's the interesting one as well of like you book the next day's tee time at 9 a.m. So on the drive up, we will have to book the 2 courses that we want to play the following day for our first rounds at St Andrews and stuff like that. So we have to work out on weather and all that, which ones we want to be playing on. Because ideally you want to play somewhere like the Castle with less wind and nice conditions just because of the great views more than anything else. And then the other ones that are kind of lower down by the waterside, very much more that can be played in whatever conditions type thing. And you want to have some time in the town. That's one thing we didn't do last time.
Did you not?
We didn't have enough time in the town because we played 2 rounds a day, but we were also
You're
like bouncing
exhausted.
around a lot and stuff. Whereas actually we needed to. I enjoyed, for instance.
Go out at night?
Yeah, we went out for dinner and stuff. But you play your second round of golf. I don't know, 2 till 6, 3 till 7. Go back, get changed, get showered. By the time you get out, it's 8, 9 o'clock. By the time you've had dinner, it's 10, 11.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to then be completely shattered or anything for the next day and ruin your rounds of golf. Particularly as we were booking like 8 o'clock in the morning tee times, 7 o'clock in the morning tee times. So,
We'll balance it, mate. But yeah, I'd definitely like to see the town and get a feel for it. But you know what you're there for, don't you? So, yes,
when are you
mate.
next on the course then?
Don't fully know. We're talking about Saturday morning, actually.
Ooh, nice.
You're not about, are you?
No, I think I'll have overdone it with playing.
But I don't know where that will be, mate. That'll probably might even be Tilly.
Yeah.
Hey, it's fun.
No, I don't mind Tilly.
I think it's fun.
It's testing for a part. What part
It's
69?
it's the tiny greens, isn't it? Like the tiny greens. So you like green regulation's hard. So then it tests your short game, doesn't it?
They're elevated as well. Like they're on the upturned saucepan, a lot of them. So it's like you got no room to run off, and it's not like there's a backstop or anything to bring it down. So
you just rely on the lumpy greens, don't you?
yeah, just slow it down. and the superior spin skill that
Yes,
you have with your wedge
absolutely,
game.
of course,
Obviously.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm making a lot of noise in the
No,
background
it's
here.
all right. I got the first comp of the year on
Have you?
Sunday. Yeah.
Where are you going, Wes?
The Leighton Buzzard March Stableford.
So Ollie posted on one of the threads that you're playing like 6 rounds of golf this week, aren't you, or something? Or 4, at least 4.
4. I had 4
4
tee
in
times.
preparation for a...
Yeah, I had 4
comp.
tee times booked. I was meant to play Monday, but then something came up, so I didn't play Monday. I was meant to play at Leighton Buzzard today, but then the Woburn thing came up. I'm playing Sandy Lodge tomorrow with a work colleague, and then I'm playing Leighton Buzzard with John, who's one of the guys who's coming to St Andrews with us on Thursday. And I think I will take Friday off before going to work on Saturday, and then the comp on
mate.
Sunday.
I mean, that's great. No wonder you were thinking, do you have burnout though, mate? I mean, that is absolutely asking for it, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll happen.
But it's great. What a great experience, mate. I'm very envious.
All right, man. Well, look, let's leave it here. We've done almost an hour.
Yeah, sweet.
Comfortable? Enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, it's new, isn't it? Yeah, it's good, man. That was all right.